Hi, I'm Robert. I'm a third year chemical engineering student and a student content shaper here at the University of Birmingham.
Hello, my name's Diana and I work for the Student Living team.
Today we're going through this jar of commonly asked questions about someone moving into university for the first time.
And hopefully we'll give you an insight and some reassurance about what life is like for the first few weeks at university and what we can offer to support them.
So let's get started. What happens if my child has a problem with their course or timetable? So if your child has any issues with their course or their timetable, there is a contact email for their department that they can email. So for example, for me, there is a chemical engineering undergraduate email that I can email. But if they have any other issues, there is also a wellbeing email, and there's a wellbeing team that they can get in contact with. There's other people they can get in contact. So for example, if they have disabilities, there's the Student Disability Service. They can also just get in contact with any of their academics, because from what I've seen and from what I've experienced, they're usually pretty amenable to help sort things out in that way. There's also your personal tutor, who you can get in contact with if you have any course-specific queries or any sort of content issues with it. You can also get in contact with your wellbeing team if things are starting to get a bit much, because they will be able to point you towards either resources you need or any sort of forms you may also need to fill in if something happens.
And just to add, the Guild of Students that run the Wellbeing, the Res Life department, the Wellbeing ambassadors are brilliant. That's peer-to-peer led students that have been through exactly the same sort of things, and they're there to support and signpost whether you're living in university owned or one of our partner. They do regular visits to all of the sites, so please don't worry, there's plenty of support out there. So what if I doubt their ability to feed themselves? This is a question I know all parents and guardians are very, very anxious about when students first come to university. We are very lucky here at the University of Birmingham. We've got many, many catering outlets across campus. We are surrounded by supermarkets around all of our villages, and a lot of students, once they're in here and they've met their flatmates, they'll do an online delivery for groceries. And as I say, please don't worry too much about them. They will never starve.
I will also add that there is a bunch of videos that we've recently just done, like banging budget-friendly meals, that the student content shapers, not me, but others like me, have done, and you can follow those instructions and they should be able to get a meal together quickly and cheaply, and also, hopefully, healthily.
It's like starting school all over again. What if they struggle making friends?
If you're worried about making friends at the beginning of the year, there will be plenty of events, not only in Welcome Week, but also throughout the year for you to get that opportunity to mix with people. So in departments, they will frequently offer wellbeing sessions where, as well as study sessions, they will also offer things like movie nights or games nights. Within Welcome Week, there will be taster sessions in different societies, different groups, and different sports clubs. So, say for example, you wanted to try out rock climbing, that's an option. Also, things like swimming will also offer sessions like that. There will also be a lot of taster sessions for more specific student groups. So if you're, say, someone who's more interested in bad films, or someone who's more interested in tabletop games, or any sort of thing you would like to try out, there will be a taster session within Welcome Week. There will be a good chance for you to meet people, mix with people. Even if you can't make those, there will be Res Life events at your accommodation sites if you're at a university-owned accommodation, and they will offer chances for you to get pizza, socialise with people. Sometimes they'll also offer free drinks. They're generally quite good, provided it doesn't rain. Next one, is there help for students living off campus too?
So yes, our department, we have an office in University Centre called the Student Living Hub, and we're there Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m, and we're there to support students whether there is inquiry about their accommodation with us or their accommodation in the private sector. So whatever their accommodation query is, they can come in and speak to us.
When do assessments start, and how can students prepare? So there's a campaign that we run here called You'll Be Ready, and that is a lot of advice in terms of studying, getting your day together, revision. I did a video on that last year now, time flies, and that is a good way to see how people prepare for their assessments. But there will also there's also the Academic Skills Centre, where if you've got any issues with your course or with different things, you can get in contact with them at the library. So, for example, if I had issue with something with maths, I could get in contact with the Maths Support Centre. There will also frequently be revision sessions run by their courses just before exams. So there'll be something for you to do if you're worried about how your assessments are going to go. Now, what's it like in accommodation during the first few weeks?
It's really fun. There's so much going on for all of our students. The Guild of Students, the Res Life activators, they put on pizza welcome parties across all of the sites. There's lots of activities going on campus. The Guild of Students have got over 300 societies, and there'll be a societies fair, so there's something you can go and hopefully that interests you and you can join the societies. Welcome Week is a buzz on campus, and there's plenty of opportunity for you to meet other students other than those in your flat, as well as your course. So please don't worry, Welcome Week, so much going on.
I will also add that this year they are trialling something called the Societies Roadshow, which is basically a bunch of different student groups, like ones I'm in, for example, are going to be going around to different accommodations. So if you can't leave your accommodation for whatever reason, or you just got in late, you don't need to worry, because then there is a chance that you will be able to catch other things that you were potentially interested in, and they'll be more or less right at your doorstep.
How does the university help students find jobs or build employability skills?
So there's the Careers Network here at UOB, where you can get in contact with someone and they can help you with anything from writing out a CV to trying to decide what you want to go into after uni to even help getting prepared for interviews. And there is course-specific services. There will also just be general services for just if you don't know where to start. Saying that, there is also the work link here, where you can look for jobs there. There will be university jobs offered from anything from the Student Content Shaper scheme, which I'm on, to things like building maintenance or research assistants, or sometimes, I think they sometimes even advertise internships on there. So there will be places to look here for any sort of employability help. Are there things going on for international students over the holidays?
Absolutely. So our accommodation is open throughout the contract period. That's Christmas and Easter vacation. We have support across those holidays as well, and there's events also going on. So whether international students or home students that decide to stay in their accommodation over the holidays, we're there to help them and support them. My child has learning difficulties, and how will they be supported academically?
If your child has learning difficulties, there is the Student Disability Service that they can get in contact with at any point during the year, and we can get in contact with them and they will arrange what's called a reasonable adjustment plan. And that will help them with any aspect of their course that they may need any sort of adjustments for. So if you have, say, if you need extra time in assessments, that can be arranged. If you need extensions on reports or any sort of essays, that can also be arranged. It can also help arrange any sort of more sensitive things with your department. So that's generally a conversation that can get started early. It's also worth getting in contact with your wellbeing team. So if you need any sort of adjustments, assessment, extensions, things like that, they can help support you with the process of getting that sent through. So there's also disability societies here at the university. So if you want to talk to people who may have similar problems to you and also have been through similar courses or done similar things, it's always worth getting in contact. It's always worth seeing if people can talk to you about things, because usually from what I found, even if you think you're the only person that's gone through something, there is a good chance someone might have gone through something similar, and usually they can help you through it.
What happens if there's a problem with their accommodation? Who do they talk to? Yes, you can come to see us. We have our Student Hub office that's open Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. But the site reception teams are there 24/7, and our customer service managers for each of the building, they're there to support. You've also got the wellbeing ambassadors as well. So there's plenty of people you can turn to if you're having any sort of issues within your accommodation.
I will say I was in tennis courts first year and I've been in Jarrett Hall for last year, and I will say that frequently the best people to get in contact with were the reception, because as well as like issues with, say, the physical things, so like a oven not working or something, there's a portal for that, but also just generally if you're having other bigger issues, you can talk to your reception team. They'll be willing to hear you out, give you some advice, send some help your way if things aren't going amazing there. And that is all the questions we have.
We hope that's given you a bit of an insight into the support that we can offer here at the university, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
If you have any further questions, there are a list of contacts you can get into contact with in the description of this. Feel free to check those out and get in touch if you have any further questions. And
Goodbye.
yeah, hope to see you soon.